Hello, everyone. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing this fine Friday morning? It is Friday, right? Yeah, I believe so. You're watching Coffee with Ray. So, this Saturday, folks, this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, I am doing an alternate, how to create alternate forms of income. And also, I'm going to be talking about how to discover money that you already have that maybe you didn't think you have. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing this on Zoom. I'll put a link down below in the description and that way you have it. But I'll be sending out some emails today. So if you're on my email list, you'll get an email today. And then also, maybe posting, I think I posted it to my Telegram yesterday, but I'll post it again to Telegram group. I'll post it here in the comment section, or I'll post it also as a post here on YouTube. I'll put it on my Facebook wall, and I'll share it to all across all my social medias and everything to make sure that you guys got that Zoom link. But tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, and so make sure you show up and stuff. I have something that I'm really considering to give away. It's a pretty cool thing, and I'm thinking about giving it away. And so we might have a giveaway on tomorrow evening's income class. And it's free to attend, so it doesn't cost anything. But the one thing that you've got to understand is that Zoom has given me a limit on how many people can be in the room. So it's going to basically be first come, first serve. And then when you do show up, make sure you have pen and paper. And then because it is Zoom, make sure that you have your camera and microphone going and everything like that, because I am going to want audience participation. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about doing this tomorrow night and finishing up some final details with some of the PowerPoints that I want to share with you guys and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So, hey, Kim. Hey, Michael Evansburg. Good morning, Raymond from Hollywood in Southern Maryland. Wow, there's Hollywood in Maryland, huh? And then Joan. Hey, how you doing, Joan? So, these past couple days, what I want to talk about is we are in the winter of the fourth turning point. Will this be recorded if I can't make it? Yes, it will be, but I will be putting it in the members area of the YouTube. So if you're not a member, subscribe to our members area on YouTube, then you're not going to be able to see it unless you join the members area, because I am creating content. I'm uploading to that members area, and I'm going to be really focusing a lot on building income and then also building mental preparedness. So those are going to be the two things that I'm going to be starting off with the members area here in YouTube, is really focusing on that. These are two shortfall areas that I think a lot of people need help with, and it's something that I kind of know a lot about. So, but those are the areas that I'm going to be focusing on in the members area. So make sure you join the members. And if you see the subscribe button right down there below, or down there below, is next to it says join, or somewhere around there it says join. But if you're on a stinking Apple computer or iPhone or iPad, stupid Apple doesn't have it. So in the links, what I've done is in the description, when you scroll down in my description, it shows all my links and all that other stuff. It has a link to join my YouTube membership. So, but I am going to be posting more and more information in that area. I'm already been working on content. I have to admit, I was, in getting sick and everything, I took a little vacation off of that, but I'm feeling a lot better now, and I'm gonna start ramping up more content and adding content to that area. So, hey, Michael, just north of California, Maryland, just north of California, man, Maryland's got everything, doesn't it? And hey, Chantel, how you doing? So, but anyways, today, what I wanted to talk about is we are in the winter of the fourth turning point. And if you've been watching the last couple of videos, I've been talking about what's going on with China. And Basically, their whole country is basically going down the drain, but primarily their economy, and it's due strongly to the demographics and very poor choices that they made as a nation in regards to their one-child policy. And what happened is if you have one-child policy, you're not having enough babies. And if you're not having enough babies, then how do you create a workforce for your future? And so they kind of screwed the pooch in making very bad policy decisions and didn't think very far enough ahead. Said, oh, wow, we're not going to have enough workers to basically cover and take care and consume our goods and everything. And so, what's happening is their nation is dying. And an interesting thing is other countries that are following right behind them is Germany. Germany is looking very bad, and then Italy. And so all three of these countries have a very negative birth rate, had a very negative birth rate, and they do not have the population to continue the workforce or take care of the aging generation that is retiring right now or have been retiring. And they don't have enough workers coming in under 40 to perpetuate the economy and create consumerism and so forth and so on. But China is the first one to go down, and it's going to be big thump. And the reason I'm talking about all this is because what's going to happen is going to severely affect us here in the United States, seeing that we are China's basically number one trade partner. We buy a lot of their cheap Chinese stuff. And so a lot of our corporations and everything have shipped a lot of the manufacturing over there and everything. And what's happening is because China's population is diminishing, the cost to do business over there is rising because they don't have enough workers. It's the whole supply and demand issue. Because they don't have enough workers, it's going to cost them more money because more people want higher wages for work and everything. So China is basically being priced out of the global market of cheap Chinese stuff. So, uh, what is going to do? It's going to impact the United States because if you look at Walmart, probably about 96% of everything in the Walmart shelves and everything is made in China. And so, what happens when all this cheap Chinese stuff comes to an end? And I think that it's going to come to an end here rather soon because already China is suffering the fact that their own population cannot sustain consumerism. Their housing market is dying because everybody's already bought the houses. They don't need any more houses. Their auto industry is dying. Why? Because everybody's got a car. They don't need any new cars. So a lot these two primary areas are driving forces for any major economy, and their economy is dying because the audio industry is dying and the housing industry is dying. And when those two things die, the nation dies. There's not enough consumerism or enough things to really continue and perpetuate the economy. And so, yeah, a lot of stuff. Now, here's the thing is that for us to survive as a nation, and believe it or not, we as a nation is actually sitting pretty good. We produce our own food, we produce our own energy, we produce our own fertilizer, we produce a lot of things that enable us as a nation to basically stand on our own. Now, the one thing that we are lacking in is manufacturing because we shipped all those jobs to China. Thank you very much. But what is happening is that we are slowly waking up to the fact that we need to bring manufacturing back home. Now, here's the problem is that our nation is not feeling enough pain yet to start doing this. Yeah, some companies are getting their act together, but very far and few. If we look at 100 companies, I would say only 2 or 3 are actually starting to invest and start doing manufacturing here at home. Everybody else is still hanging on to China and hanging on to all these other ideas and everything. And they haven't woken up to the fact because they haven't been feeling enough pain. Now, we're here. And what we need to do is finally get to the point where we need to have manufacturing and everything, but that's going to take here. And this span of time, we're looking at a 3, 5, 10-year span of time. And again, I don't know how long it's going to be. How long is it going to take America to wake the heck up and realize that they need to start manufacturing again, start doing stuff and everything. And the thing is, what people don't understand too is you just don't walk around with a little magic wand and go bing, there is a microchip factory, bing, there is a Tupperware factory, bing, there is whatever factory. And so, factories take, 2 to 3 years to build, to get the infrastructure going, to get the supply chains going and everything like that. This is just something you just don't throw a factory up and all of a sudden, whammo, bammo, things are being produced. So, and then here's another thing that's throwing a wrench in the system. A lot of the infrastructure that these corporations and these factories and everything need, guess where it's built? China. And so we're seeing kind of a vicious loop here of a lot of the materials we need just to even build our own factories is made in China. And is China supplying stuff? Heck no. In fact, it's interesting. A lot of these electrical transformers and everything you see on the side of roads and all these other areas and everything that are on, just to provide the electricity for some of these manufacturing companies take about 36 months just to build. So the whole scheme of building and everything slowed down quite a bit because we're so dependent upon China. And so that is what is going on. And this is why I'm talking about here is that we are in the winter of the fourth turning point. A lot of people look at the fourth turning point starting around 2008. I personally think it started a little bit later than that, but I can see why people do say 2008 was the starting point. But what we have seen, what a fourth turning point winter, and to help you guys understand this is a book called Generations. This has oh my goodness. This is an incredible book. It was written in 1991 by Strauss and Howe. And these guys started looking at generational trends starting from 1584 all the way to speculating out to 2069. Folks, gosh, I would say probably about 95% of everything they've predicted in this book has come true. This book was written in 1991. I read this book all the time. In fact, you can see I've got a bookmark in it. You can actually go to dates, years, and times, look things up and say, oh, what's going to happen? It's there. And folks, they have hit the nail on the head when it comes to, generational trends. Now, is this an exact science? No, this isn't. And so, is this prophecy? No, I really wouldn't call it prophecy. It's just looking at history and seeing how man has repeated himself over and over and over again and made the poor choices. King Solomon, for all you guys who read the Bible, read Ecclesiastes 1. Talks about how time is cyclical, circular. Man repeats himself. There's nothing new under the sun. So many people think that time is linear. It's not. Time is cyclical. Man always repeats himself no matter what. And it seems that every 100 years, man continues to do the same stupid stuff that he always does. And so right now, they talk about generational seasons. These seasons are spring, winter, summer, fall. And so, but what we are in right now is we are in the fourth turning point, or we are in the winter time. And if you understand winter, winter is cold. Winter creates, kills everything. Winter, causes problems. Winter, causes suffering. Winter, so forth and so on. And every time, if you look at any time we've had a great world war, even our civil war, so forth and so on, we have had, for example, the last big turning point, the last winter was when we went through World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II. That was the seasonal generational winter. So we are at that point again. And one of the things that I am seeing is that the whole world is feeling this. It isn't just here in the United States. This is a global phenomenon. And no matter what, man continues to do the same things that he continues to do, because that's man. It's part of our DNA and everything. So this is again why King Solomon said that time is cyclical. We keep repeating ourselves. It's not linear. We don't do anything different. Again, Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. Everything has been done that has been done, and everything will continue to repeat itself. And so that's what Strauss and Howe is really showing here. And they have some great historical documentation. This book, I want to say, is about $19. I have it as a link down below. I super highly recommend you guys getting this. They also did a follow-up book called The Fourth Turning Point, and I've got it here around here somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I was going to show you that one too. But Generations is really good. Now, if you want to go really delve deep into The Fourth Turning Point, you can get the book The Fourth Turning Point. I have to say it's a rather dull, boring read, but it is also very interesting in what is going on. They hit the nail right on the head, folks, and we are there. So I think that what we're going to be seeing here, and again, I see China kind of as a what is it? Not a benchmark, but a point in time that creates chaos. And once China falls, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a domino effect globally. Because again, look how much the globe depends on China, cheap Chinese stuff and everything. And it isn't happening only here in America. The rest of the world is feeling it too. Now, India may be a little bit different because India is almost a continent in and of itself. And they do produce a lot of their own stuff and do a lot of these things. Is why a lot of corporations and companies are starting to look at India as possibly the replacement for China. Can they produce a lot of cheap Indian stuff? And so, but we don't know. But the better idea is to actually create and bring manufacturing here to the United States. But what we need to understand is that there's going to be a time frame, a gap of time that we must traverse. And that means, or AKA, we must survive and get through. And how long that time is, 3, 5, 10 years, maybe more. I don't know. But I think that it's going to be a span of time. And then once we do make it to the other side and everything, we will start coming out of that generational winter and start entering into a generational spring. Spring is good. Spring brings new growth. Spring brings, new planting, new babies, new life, everything. If you think about spring in the generational context, it's the good thing. It's the new beginning. After the winter comes the spring. And so everything comes out new again. And so what we need to do is we as preppers need to be able to span that time frame and be able to survive that storm, build our arcs, build our personal supply chains so that we have them in place now so we can traverse that span of time. And this is why I'm really wanting to start teaching people, all these long-term ideas so that they can do it. And we are at a point in America, and like it or not, you are too. I am, you are too. I'm taking action already. So I'm doing it. But what is going to come is great pain. And now I want to ask you, do you want to go through change, which is going to be really hard, suffer the pain and everything, and then finally get your crap together and say, oh, I need a personal supply chain? How hard is it going to be when you are in a time of pain? If you're smart, then why not start your supply chain now? And that's what's going to help us get through this point is creating a personal supply chain. And again, I'm talking about growing gardens. I'm talking about tangible assets, trade items, barter items. I'm big on junk silver and everything. Start working within your neighborhood. Start building connections. Start learning to what your local businesses and so forth that you can start learning and leaning upon and everything. Start buying local, start looking for farmers markets, start doing all these things now. Because do you want to do these things now while you're not really feeling the pain? Or would you rather be doing those things later, procrastinating, and then doing it in the middle of pain? And so this is why I'm urging people like crazy to start doing these things now. This is one of the reasons why I'm really ramping up this class that I'm doing, why I'm ramping up other content and everything. It's important to me that you guys also start doing this stuff. But like it or not, there are some of you out there that are going to procrastinate and wait, and then you're going to start feeling the pain, and you're going to go, oh crap, I should have listened to Ray when he said to do it then. So learn this lesson now. Start doing these things now. Start creating this personal supply chain now, so that when the pain comes, you guys are already settled in, you're already doing, you're dialed in, and you're rocking and rolling. You're going to be able to cruise through this time of pain. But don't wait till the time of pain. So enough preaching. And I know there's kind of bad news and everything like that, but this is what I'm seeing, folks. And this is what this book is also predicting. And if you read the Bible says the same thing too. Bad times coming. So, there's a lot of things pointing to this. And, my goal is to see and sail through on our family's arc and get to the other side. So that's everything that I've got, so uh again, sorry for the preachiness and everything, but I'm passionate about this topic, and I think that people need to wake up and smell the coffee, because it's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard, and it's going to hit, when people don't realize it. I mean, I honestly believe that there's going to come a day when China's going to say, you know what, no more cheap Chinese stuff, because we're getting there. We're getting there really quickly, folks. And we're already seeing these change in the tides going on. So, but that's all that I can talk about. We'll see you tomorrow, but make sure you come into my alternate income class. This is the beginning of many classes that I want to start doing, and then also join the YouTube membership and start getting even more content that I'm going to be creating just for you guys, so that we can start building, one, mental preparedness, two, alternate incomes, and then as time progresses, I'm going to be teaching other things as well. So, Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper, Coffee with Ray. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And on.